The story of the meeting between the Queen of Sheba or Bilqis and Solomon is one of the episodes in the scriptures that is often romanticized, whether in Jewish, Christian, or Islamic literature. Unfortunately, not much is known about the historicity of the queen. Did she really exist? If so, when and where did she live, and is there any archaeological evidence to support her existence? Let's take a look together. The first serious effort to solve this mystery came from an American archaeologist, Wendell Phillips, who led an expedition into the interior of South Arabia in 1951. Phillips, better known as the American Lawrence of Arabia, conducted extensive archaeological excavations at the Awam Temple site, also known as Maram Bilqis in Marib, the former capital of the Saba Kingdom in Yemen. A total of 50 scientists, researchers, and technicians along with 25 trucks, boats, and airplanes were deployed to support this massive excavation operation, which aroused great suspicion among locals. Even though Phillips had obtained an excavation permit from Imam Ahmad, the king of Yemen at the time, misunderstandings between the expedition members and the local community were unavoidable. The climax occurred in February 1952 when a group of heavily armed Bedouins took the entire crew hostage and forced them to leave the excavation site immediately. Despite the premature end of the mission, during which Phillips even contacted President Harry S. Truman for help, many valuable findings were obtained. Unfortunately, none of them provided evidence of the presence of Bilqis or the Queen of Sheba at the site. The Awam temple itself was built by Mukarrab Yadai el-Darii in the mid-7th century BCE, far removed from the era of David and Solomon in the 10th century BCE. The Saba kingdom itself is known to have existed since the 12th century BCE, but based on archaeological evidence, it only began to flourish in the 8th century BCE. The absence of archaeological evidence at the Awam temple then led some scholars to conduct research in Abyssinia, following the narrative in the Kabra Nagast. This Abyssinian theory was actually proposed long ago by Josephus in the 2nd century, who referred to Solomon's guest as a queen of Egypt and Abyssinia, although according to Allendorf, it is more accurately described as a ruler of Nubia Mero rather than Abyssinia proper. The problem, however, is that the narrative in the Kabra Nagast refers to the birth of the Aksumite kingdom, which was the successor of the Kush kingdom that only emerged in the 1st century BC, far removed from the era of Solomon. This chronological issue prompted W. L. Belcher, a professor of African literature at Princeton University, to research pre-Aksum sources, including the ancient kingdom of Punt, whose existence is recorded on the walls of the mortuary temple of Queen Hatshepsut. Punt itself is depicted as a trading partner of Egypt, exporting various luxury commodities such as gold, aromatic resins, sandalwood, ebony, ivory, and exotic animals to Egypt. Hatshepsut even sent her chief minister, Nasi, to lead a trading expedition to that kingdom. For Belcher, the Punt kingdom is most likely the origin of the Queen of Sheba. Unfortunately, scholars still debate the exact location of the Punt kingdom, and there is no evidence of any trading relationship between Punt and Judah, casting doubt on the hypothesis that Punt is the origin of Sheba. Although scholars have not found strong evidence of the existence of the Queen of Sheba or Bilqis either in Saba or Abyssinia, they have long been aware of records of several Arab queens who controlled the aromatic trade routes from Yemen to the Levant. These historical records can be found in the Annals of Assyria, written in Akkadian on several clay tablets and hexagonal prisms discovered in the library of Ashurbanipal, Nineveh. The Annals mention several names known as Arab queens who paid annual tribute to the Assyrian kingdom. These names are Zabiba, Samsi, Iati, Tilhunu, Tabua, Iapa, and Baslu, Adai, and Adamatu. Among these 9 names, the most notable are Zabiba and Samsi. Zabiba herself was a queen of the Kedar kingdom who ruled the kingdom between 738 to 733 BC. During Zabiba's reign, the Kedar kingdom regularly paid annual tribute to Assyria in the form of gold, silver, iron, ivory, garments, and camels. When Zabiba's reign ended, the next queen of Kedar, Samsi, rebelled against Assyria. The Assyrian king at the time, Tiglath-Pileser III, accused Samsi of breaking her oath to the sun god, Shamash, to remain loyal to Assyria. After her defeat, Samsi decided to flee to the desert but was captured by Assyrian soldiers who then took her to Nineveh. After promising to remain loyal to Assyria, Tiglath restored Samsi's power in Kedar. Samsi ruled the kingdom for 5 more years before being succeeded by the next Arab queen, Iati. According to Israel Finkelstein, the existence of these Arab queens is closely related to the rise in aromatic trade between Saba and the Levant not long after the trade route between the two regions opened, following the successful domestication of the camel as a long-distance transport vehicle. This new mode of transportation, capable of traversing the arid Arabian routes, led to the emergence of new cities in various places along the trade caravans as transit points. These cities then prospered, followed by a dramatic population increase. Attracted by the wealth generated from this trade route, Assyria conquered all the small kingdoms in the Levant and became the main player monopolizing the aromatic trade route. The extraordinary profits generated from the aromatic trade also brought prosperity to many Assyrian vassal states, including the Kingdom of Judah. The Kedar kingdom, ruled by these queens, played an important role in the aromatic trade because it was the first Arab kingdom to control the trade route. It is highly likely that the camel caravans carrying valuable commodities were also under the control of the Kedar kingdom. The key position of Kedar can be seen from Tiglath-Pileser III's decision to restore Queen Samsi to her position as an Assyrian vassal ruler instead of executing her for rebellion. In conclusion, the story of the meeting between the Queen of Sheba or Bilqis and Solomon in the scriptures is nothing more than an anachronism and a romanticization of the Saba-Levant trade that flourished in the 7th century BCE and was controlled by Arab queens.